What's going on, EQ lovers? In this episode, we have a question I know man have all heard before, which is,
what are we?
yeah, I know what I'm talking about. So stay tuned for his view.
In her perspective. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
What's up, EQ lovers? We're glad you tuned in to episode 3. I'm your host, Devon J.
And I'm Jamie D.
And we don't have a topic. We just have a simple question this time. Or is it simple?
It's not simple at all.
I think it is. Maybe.
Like, what are we? What are we doing? What is it that you want?
Whoa there. Calm down over there. It's a lot. You anxious.
I'm ready.
Oh, you ready? Okay.
We want to know.
What do y'all want to know?
We want to know, what are we doing? What are we? What do y'all want? Do you see a future with us? Do you not? Like, we want answers. Okay.
It seemed like y'all want it all. Not just answers.
We do.
It seemed like y'all want 200 answers. And y'all just ask one question.
I mean, the question is loaded.
Yes.
It's up to y'all to answer the right way.
Y'all heard what she said, right? It's up to us fellas out, to answer the question the right way.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by that?
When we ask the question, there's an answer that we want to hear. I mean,
When y'all ask this $1 million question,
yeah.
there's a certain answer that y'all want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is loaded now.
It is.
So what because I've heard this before.
Have you?
I have. I'm sure you've maybe asked this before.
Have.
You have? Okay.
Yeah, several
So
times.
from a man's view, if I hear this question, I'm going to pretty much lay out where we're at now and where I see us at, or where I see us going. That's how I would probably answer that question.
I feel like that's what we want to hear. Like, that's a legit way to answer, I think. But the thing is, before we even ask you the question, we're asking because we already know what we want. And we really want to know if you want the same thing.
So, yeah, because I feel like typically, man, we move slower in this.
Oh, God. Like snails.
Yeah, but
Turtles.
I mean, if women look into it, we're trying to develop something that could be worth more. But we have to be certain, because at the end of the day, we're the one that's getting down on one knee. So we have to be precise
But
in every category.
We don't see it that way.
Of course,
We
because
be
you're not
feeling
y'all not the ones that's gonna propose.
It don't matter.
So
it's
what?
the
So
fact
what matters?
that we feel like if you know, so it shouldn't take y'all forever. And then when we ask, so what are we? We feel like y'all not trying to build. It comes off as, because you taking so long, you just playing games. Like you.
So what is it? So if you ask a guy, what are we, and he says, okay, you're my girlfriend, I'm your boyfriend. That's what, like, yeah, cool.
It depends. It depends on the person. It depends on the woman.
Because honestly, if a woman asks a guy that's what we immediately think. If we're in that friend zone, we may have done things that friends maybe don't do. So then we know that question is coming very soon. So if we hear that, we automatically think, what do y'all want to hear? Do y'all want to hear, okay, you're my girlfriend, I'm your boyfriend?
I feel like you want to hear that in like high school or college. But grown adults who got bills to pay, we women, we want to hear that you see a future with us. We want to hear that you want to be with us, you want to grow with us. We want to hear that you see us developing and being something like, oh, you my boyfriend and girlfriend.
So instead of what are we? Why don't y'all just break it down and ask all of those questions? Because if y'all break that down, because the question is loaded, you definitely admitted that the question is loaded.
Yeah.
Why don't y'all just break it down to us? So then, therefore, once you hear our answer, which y'all probably not gonna like, because we do move like snails, which you said. Why don't y'all just break down the question, because the question is loaded?
My thing is, this is really what it is. We shouldn't even have to ask you.
You shouldn't have to ask.
You should make it known that this is what we are doing.
We should make it known.
Yes. We shouldn't have to ask. So what are we? We shouldn't have to ask. Y'all should have been upfront and blunt from the beginning.
Typically we are.
Really?
Yes.
How?
But once
do we miss it?
No, I don't think y'all miss it. I just feel once the feelings grow stronger, it may come off as y'all miss it. Because once the feelings grow, typically for a woman, y'all may forget certain things that we had said before, which is why women often need words of affirmation. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, so talk to us.
So you saying, yeah.
She's thinking about what she wants to say right now, because I am dropping the mic today, for sure.
So you saying y'all from the beginning. Don't do that.
Okay.
You said in the beginning, y'all make it known that this is what we want, or this is what we see, or this is how I feel, or whatever.
In the beginning, we'll lay the blueprint out for sure.
Okay. As the relationship progresses, we start catching feelings, so we forget what it was that you said in the beginning, and
it didn't happen all the time, but most of the time it typically does, which is why I asked that question.
But okay, I'm gonna speak for women.
Okay.
To men, I feel like y'all do have to continue to reaffirm what you said in the beginning. You said it once, but it needs to be a reminder, and we need to know, like, you still feel that way, or whatever the case may be. Like, stuff happens, life happens, you doing your thing, we doing our thing. Women, we're probably catching feelings and falling and all this
we
stuff.
We are too.
But we need to hear it again. After so long, like, we need to hear it again.
So after so long, you need to constantly hear it again, or just if y'all need to hear it again, just ask for clarification.
Yeah, because stuff changes.
Yeah, but how are we just going to say it when we know that y'all need to hear it? Because we're not in y'all heads.
I know.
So, if y'all just ask us for clarification, just to, get an update. There's nothing wrong with an update. But,
there's nothing that registers in y'all to be like, I need to let her know, like, I want this. Or, I feel like I need to tell her again, like, yeah, I'm serious about you. Or I really think I really wanna. She could be the one for me. Maybe I should let her know that. Like, y'all don't have nothing that says you might need to say it.
No. If everything is going smooth in a relationship,
Oh Lord have mercy.
why do we need to say something that y'all need to hear in y'all mind?
You need to affirm that.
I'm not debating on that. But what I'm saying is, the question was, does anything register to us, men?
Okay, let's take it from this angle. In the beginning, y'all might be like, I like you. I really see that this could be something, because that's something y'all say. And then after a while, things start flowing. Stuff is going good. Okay. As a woman, we remember you saying this could be. So now that things are continuing to progress, we need to get the update. Do you still think this could be? Are you sure now that we should be together? Are you still unsure? Like, we need to know.
But are y'all asking all of those questions?
That's when we say, so what are we? That's
yes,
the question.
But my thing is, why not ask all of those questions if that's what you need to hear?
Because so what are we is the question that's asked for all of that stuff.
Do you feel that men are just black and white?
I feel like y'all are a little
Don't criticize us now. Please don't.
Sometimes I don't know if y'all understand English.
No, we just don't understand y'all English. But are y'all willing to try to understand ours?
I mean,
because if y'all are willing to try to understand our English, therefore you would know to ask more questions other than what are we?
But you know
because
what
we
we
both
mean.
because you already admitted that the question was fully loaded.
Yeah, but
we
y'all
will follow suit with answering the question, but y'all have to control that question and take us where y'all want us to answer in order for it to work.
It's not our job to navigate the question for you.
It's not y'all job to navigate a question that y'all ask.
No, we ask. It's up to you to really dig deep and find out how you really feel. What is it that you really want now? Like,
dig deep. It's up to us. And you know what we're going to say?
What?
We're going to say the same thing that we said at the beginning.
See, that's when the problem comes up.
But do you realize why it's the problem?
No, I don't.
Because you didn't ask multiple questions that is going to give women the true answer of what the question is, which is, what are we?
So after we ask what are we should really be asking, do you feel more sure about me? Are you falling for me more? Like, what? I don't even understand, like, why we have to give you detailed questions. What are we? Either so you will literally be like, oh, well, I'm still figuring it out. But after so long, it's like, what's taking you so, like, we still in the same place we were 5-6 months ago?
No.
So you can't give us the same answer.
But we will, because you didn't ask us multiple questions to register, to make more clearly for y'all to understand it.
No, because now y'all just being petty.
No, we're not.
Because you know exactly what we asking.
No, y'all think we know exactly what y'all asking, but we don't. Which is why we'll probably 9 times out of 10 will answer the question the same way as what we explained it before. It only makes sense. Because if everything's going smoothly in our heads, if everything's going smoothly, then okay, we'll say the same thing. But if you break the question down to what you really mean and what you really feel, because I'm pretty sure, man out there, we've probably told women this before. We're not inside your heads. We don't know what y'all feel. We don't know until you say something. So I feel like if y'all actually break the question down, you would actually get a better reaction from a man, and you would probably understand him a lot better.
So is this a fight of who's gonna be vulnerable first? Because now that's what that sounds like.
That doesn't even come off as vulnerable to a man, honestly.
Really?
That never even crossed my head as being vulnerable. It literally comes off as a woman taking the relationship serious enough to really figure out what's going on with the person she's in a relationship with. That's exactly how it comes off to us. Vulnerability, that doesn't even, because honestly, if we have a question for y'all, we gonna ask y'all the question, and if y'all don't give us the answer that doesn't really match up to our question, we're gonna break the question down, because we want the answer. We want the answer to register to the question at hand, even if it's in our favor or not in our favor.
I mean, I feel like, okay, if we ask the question, what are we? And y'all are on this whole, we just kicking it. That's going to be a problem. What do you mean we just kicking it? We do ask more questions. Like, so what am I to you? Like,
oh, so now you're saying that it's okay for y'all that now y'all going to ask more questions.
Well,
if the answer doesn't register to how
if you don't
you
say
intended
what we want to
right,
hear,
then y'all break it down.
Yeah.
Okay. So then if we just kicking it, what's wrong with that?
It's not acceptable for her if she wants more.
So it's important for you to tell him that.
But I'm pretty sure it was said in the beginning. I feel like a lot of, no, you don't think it's women state what they want in the beginning? Or do you think we just allow y'all to say what y'all want in the beginning?
Of course, y'all allow us to say whatever we want in the beginning.
See, I'm not like that.
Because it's not, it's more of the attraction. You know, sometimes the attraction will outweigh at the beginning. Women will overlook a lot of things at the beginning and let a man just do whatever. And we will continue to do whatever until y'all say pause and y'all get out of la la land and say what y'all need to say.
Okay, so one thing about me is my favorite question in the beginning of anything is, what do you want? That is my go-to question. And I be wanting to know from jump, like, are you ready to settle down? Are you ready for marriage? Do you just want to date? Are you, like, what are you looking for? What is it that you want? Sometimes men will ask, well, what do you mean by that? Other times they pretty much know what I'm asking and they'll say. Mm-hmm. And then if the answer that they give me isn't to my liking, then I pretty much cut it. There's no need for us to even continue on.
Right. So what we're getting from now is man moves slow and women like to speed it up a little bit. So what's the true reasoning behind this question? Like, why do y'all feel that it's so important at this time in a relationship to ask this question?
We normally at this point we're a little frustrated. Like, things may have been going okay or going well, but we need to know, like, at this point, am I wasting my time?
Like, okay, you say y'all frustrated. Like, is it like signs within the dude that y'all keep getting like friend zoned or something? Or
sometimes it's like your actions and your words don't seem to match. Sometimes it's everything is rocking, but you never say out of your mouth you want this or you don't. Sometimes y'all start pulling away, or you start acting a little funny, or we kind of play the girlfriend role, but we still don't have the title. It's a lot of reasons why now it's like, okay, what are we doing? What are we? Like, we've done this for so long. Sometimes we feel friend zoned, yeah. But although we feel friend zoned, we still acting almost as the girlfriend. So we need to know what is it that you want. But if we're asking men, if we're asking this question, it's because we're interested. We're never going to ask this question to somebody that we don't have no interest in or we don't want to be with. If we're asking, is because we actually really are ready for you to tell us that, yeah, like, I want to grow in this with you, or I want to see where this goes. Like, we want to hear that. We want to know that we're not alone in how we feel.
So I'm just gonna say what you said at the end of that. That was beautiful. Bye. Yeah. But if you're asking this question, then that means that y'all are interested. Mm-hmm. That's correct, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so if y'all are interested, please be sure to check your tone after you hear whatever answer it is that the man is going to give you. Because women, please make sure, because whatever your tone is right now will indicate how real he will continue to be with you during this relationship. Yeah. So, tough. Yeah.
That's real, but that's tough.
Is very true, because we know women are going to ask us this question. We do know this. I can admit that now. We know, but if we, because the question again is fully loaded. If we say something that is not up to y'all standards, we are really paying extreme close attention to your body movement, if your eyes twitching, if your head turning to the side, if you got any sorts of type of attitude towards of our answer. Because if that's the case and that relationship continues to rock, that, I'm telling y'all women, that man is not, he's going to be honest, but he's going to be honest to a certain degree.
Okay. I have to say, that's so real. Because one thing that I feel like I have learned when it comes to men, it's like, I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like y'all sometimes want to open up, you want to be real, you want to be honest, but because of the reaction you get from women, you take that as, I can't say certain things to her because she's going to get upset. Because at the end of the day, most of y'all don't really like conflict. Y'all don't like arguing.
None of us do. None of us do.
You know,
women or men.
If you feel like it's going to start something, you're just going to go with the easiest answer or take the easiest route where it won't be a whole lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
And all of that
if we can keep peace, we're definitely going to choose the easier route. So we may say something to a certain extent to, have you hear what you want to hear, but we may not be as real. So then typically you'll see this question recycle itself. because he probably wasn't as real as what he needed to be, but his reasoning behind that. Because if he was, y'all probably would have flipped. And we already know we gonna be in a fire in a relationship. Like sometimes it's no relationship out there that's gonna be smooth sailing 100% of the time. But from a man, I know, speaking from a man, I know I'm gonna try to get in that fire as less as possible.
So, okay, because the real is if you hear something that hurts your feelings, because that's really what it is for us. Mm-hmm. When you say whatever you say, is more so like it hurts our feelings, especially if we feel like we want you, and to hear you say, I'm not ready for that, or I don't see it that way, or whatever, like we react based on how we feel. So I think we have a right to be hurt and feel what we feel. Yeah. But I think it's a way that we can say it. But even if we say, wow, like I thought, you would want more, or it kind of hurt me to hear you say that. When we say stuff like that, is that still going to make you be like, oh yeah, I can't be honest?
No, not if you say it like that. But it's different if you talk about things in the past that was allowed to actually happen in a relationship. If you bring up that stuff and you try to use it as ammunition to us, then yeah, we're gonna be like, okay, that was my one time being for real, like honest. But next time, because I'm still feeling you, I'm just gonna fabricate it a little bit next time, so we don't have to go through that again.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, but that's what we do to keep saying. Yeah.
That's tough. So EQ, if y'all didn't know, means emotional intelligence. And the whole point of this is for us to give you the EQ side of things when it comes to relationships, and giving you guys a more mature way of thinking about relationships and the relationship questions that we have. So we're going to start diving into just what's the emotionally intelligent way of looking at certain things.
Right. So with this question and what we just discussed, the EQ side from a man's view would be man just be 100% honest by all means. If you pretty much at this time when she's asking you this question, you pretty much know the type of woman you're dealing with. So you already know the type of reaction you may get from your answer. But at the end of the day, make sure to be 100% honest.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think even your honesty, for women, it at least lets us know who we're dealing with. It lets us know like where we are in the relationship. And women, listen to what he's saying and don't just react. Like, take it in.
Yeah.
And if he's very like raw, mean, and almost like nasty about it, then you know the kind of person you're dealing with, and that should be your sign there that I shouldn't be here. I don't need this. So I think it's good, asking this question, listening to his answer.
Yeah.
So
what do you think the EQ side for women out there listening? What do you think y'all should take in? Women,
we need to accept the reality of what it is. And we really have to get control of our feelings. We have a right to feel what we feel based on the answer. I'm not saying we don't. But we should still be respectful in our response. And men, let that be a sign too, that if based on her response, if she feels that she can disrespect you and all of that, you getting a sign of the kind of woman you dealing with.
We getting a sign, and not only we getting a sign, we knowing if we want this relationship to work, we already know from jump. We know how we gonna react, and we know what we want to do if we want to step in the fire or not. So we're probably not gonna be 100% honest with you from that point on, if we do get that attitude, and if the feelings aren't controlled.
But you'll keep it going. You'll keep the relationship going.
If we still feel that it's worth going, yeah.
Well.
But if you get that response and you're not being 100% honest, is it worth keeping going?
That's the question. I think for men and women.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I think that's the real question.
Well, yeah. Is it really worth continuing if you know that he's not going to be honest with you because you react a certain way? And if you know that she's going to react a certain way to things that she don't like.
I agree. So, Miss Jamie, you always ask me what the pillow talk is for tonight, but since you women out there listening, I always ask this question that we discussed in this episode. I'm going to change it up and ask you, Jamie, what do you think the pillow talk discussion should be tonight?
Well, since you asked, I think that couples or, whomever, we should probably ask each other, what is it that you want to see happen in this relationship? And what do you see possibly getting in the way of that? And I think it should give both parties a chance to be honest about, hey, I do want to see more, or I want to see us go somewhere. I see that you could potentially be the one, or whatever the case may be. But the other day this happened, and the way you spoke to me, it bothered me. Or the other day, whatever it is, be honest about the things you see that could get in the way.
That is big.
Now, if you guys are at a point that you no longer see a future with one another, or one person doesn't see the future or whatever, I think you should ask what happened that made you not pursue it any further. Because I think in the beginning, you only reached out, you only talked to that person because you saw something. And if you don't feel that way anymore, then there should be a discussion of why. And I know that could be hard for us, especially as women, even men. I feel like, especially if you want someone, it can be hard to hear that they don't want you back. But from an EQ perspective, I think it can help each person grow as individuals, to maybe see stuff about yourself that you didn't know, and find things that you can work on personally.
Yeah, and then it's definitely not so harsh if y'all do agree to go y'all separate ways, and at the end of it, you probably got one good friend out of the whole situation.
Hopefully.
Instead of someone you don't want to talk to.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just think that if we can be mature and ask these questions and be even conscious about our answers, being kind, with how we're saying things, but being honest at the same time without trying to cut each other down, I think we could really get somewhere with that.
Yeah, I agree. But we hope you guys out there enjoyed this episode. And again, please feel free to comment on YouTube or any of the social media platforms that we are out on. Again, we do this for y'all, and we would definitely like to hear feedback and topics or anything that y'all want to hear us talk about. And good night. EQ Love, checking out.
Bye. To all of my EQ lovers out there, make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at PodEQLove, subscribe to our YouTube channel at EQ Love Podcast, and remember, we are on all major podcast platforms. And if you have any questions or topics that you would like us to discuss, feel free to message us on social media, or you can email us at podeqlove@gmail.com.